Let's jump right into something today that affects, well, literally every single one of us, every single day. We are diving into a really fascinating explainer on our relationship with screens, titled The Digital Balance, From Revolution to Addiction. So before we really get into the thick of it, I want you to be completely honest with yourself for a second. How much time did you spend staring at a screen today? Was it 2 hours? 4? Maybe you're kind of dreading checking that little screen time report right now. Hey, don't sweat it. You absolutely aren't alone in this. We're going to explore exactly how this everyday tool totally transformed our lives. Honestly, before we even fully realized what was happening. Section 1, the mobile and internet revolution. You know, it's incredibly important to remember exactly how we got here and why we love these devices so much in the first place. The digital achievements of our era, they are absolute triumphs. I mean, we're talking about seamless learning, remote work, global communication, and literally instant access to all of human knowledge at any time from anywhere. When used wisely, these tools are unequivocally powerful. They've quite literally connected the globe and reshaped what's possible. But as with pretty much all powerful tools, there's definitely a flip side to this coin. Section 2, the trap of addiction and isolation. Now, this is where the reality sharply pivots from world-changing utilities straight into everyday dependency. Because when usage turns into an addiction, the costs get deeply personal. We start seeing weakened family bonds, massive amounts of wasted time, and a really significant decrease in productivity. It really boils down to opportunity cost, right? The time that could be spent building a career, nurturing a family, or simply resting and recharging is instead just sort of drained away into the digital ether. It's a stark transformation, and the crazy part is how quietly it happens. There's this deeply relatable and, frankly, painful reality highlighted in our source material, being present in body but absent in mind. Think about it. You can be sitting right next to your family at the dinner table, physically right there in the room with them, but 1,000 miles away, completely lost in a timeline or a social media feed. It's a profound social and emotional isolation that's cleverly disguised as connection. Section 3, dangers of the digital world. So moving beyond just personal isolation, there's a very real threat landscape out there, and these dangers actually vary significantly depending on who is logging on. For kids, the primary threat is exposure to inappropriate content way before they're developmentally equipped to process it. Now, for adults, those threats shift toward things like electronic fraud, cyberbullying, and the rampant spread of misleading or fake news. The digital world presents very distinct, targeted dangers across different demographics. And let's be real, no one is entirely immune to it. But here's the thing. These specific threats don't just exist in a vacuum. They ripple outward. Ultimately, all of this leads to diminished mental health, compromised safety, and on a macro level, community instability. When families are isolated, when kids are exposed to harmful content, and when adults are being targeted by fraud or fake news, the very fabric of our community's stability and psychological well-being is severely compromised. It's a heavy reality to confront for sure, but it is absolutely essential for understanding the full scope of our digital lives today. Section 4, technology, servant, not master. Okay, take a breath, because thankfully, we aren't left with a sense of doom and gloom here. The solution isn't to just chuck our devices into the ocean. We already know how incredibly useful they are. Instead, it's all about embracing moderation. The text lays out a highly practical recovery plan to help us find that balance again. First, set firm screen time limits for yourself. Draw a line in the sand. Second, actively monitor your children's usage to protect them from those specific threats we just went over. Third, foster actual face-to-face family dialogue. Talk to each other, not just at your screens. And finally, consciously engage in real-world activities to bring your mind right back to where your physical body actually is. There's a quote from the source that just hits the nail on the head. Technology is a great servant, but it should not become a master over our lives. That perfectly summarizes our entire explainer today. Technology is a brilliant tool, a servant meant to help us learn, work, and connect globally. But the exact moment we lose control, the second a device starts dictating our free time, our mood, and our precious attention, it stops being the servant and becomes the master. Which brings us to our final concluding thought. Based on everything we've explored today, who is the true master in your life? Take a moment today to check that screen time, look at your habits, and decide who is really in control. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and good luck reclaiming your time.
Don't forget to support us by liking and subscribing to the channel and activating the bell to receive all the latest true stories and real-life secrets.